This Subaru Solterra EV wants a second try at a first impression. What's up, folks? I'm Dave Underkoffler, editor-in-chief of Autolist.com, a sister company to CarGurus. This is the 2026 Subaru Solterra, an all-electric compact crossover. But it's not an all-new generation. Instead, this is a heavy refresh of the version that first debuted back in 2022. Despite that, there are a lot of big changes that make this car much better than before. There's new styling on the outside, new tech on the inside. There's better range and better horsepower. So how does all that stack up against some significant competitors like the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6, Ford Mustang Mach-E, Volkswagen ID.4, Nissan Ariya, or the Chevy Equinox EV? Let's go spend some time with this and find out. But before we do, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you can get alerts on all of our future updates. All right, let's start by taking a look at the exterior changes. A lot of changes to the front of this Solterra for 2026. I think it looks great. It's a sleeker design now, looks a little more sophisticated. The headlights have been completely redesigned. You have 3 signature daytime running lights right here. The headlights are actually down below. And then, like I said, this fascia and bumper area, all new for 2026. And then you've got the Subaru emblem. This actually lights up at night. It's a pretty cool feature. Turning to the side, you can see the proportions of the vehicle and the dimensions haven't changed for 2026. Those still carry over. A couple of things that are new for this model year. The charge port door is now on the passenger side. It used to be on the driver's side. And then this body cladding, I don't love the black body cladding, but for this model year, if you get the Solterra in either silver, white, or black, it's all the same color, so you don't have that contrasting body. I think it's a really sleek option for those folks who don't want the traditional Subaru cladding around the wheels. Finally, we've got 20-inch alloy wheels. The trim that we're testing today is the fully loaded Solterra Touring XT. Everything you see here is about $47,500, including destination. Finally, at the back, Subaru made some small changes to the Solterra, but they didn't really redesign the look. So it's gonna look like the previous version. A couple of things to point out. This Subaru script now runs all the way across the top. It used to just be a Subaru emblem right there. And then the badging has been redesigned a little bit. Also redesigned is this spoiler up here, a little more aerodynamic efficiency. And Subaru is still saying you don't need a rear wiper because it just dries everything on its own. I've been testing this with a lot of condensation in the morning. I would say I still miss that wiper. It'd be nice if it had it. All right, let's talk powertrain. And this is one of the areas where Subaru made some of the biggest changes for 2026. As you can see, there's no frunk, so we're showing you the electric motor. Big changes here to horsepower and to range. Range is now 278 miles or 288 miles, depending on which trim you have. That is up from 222 miles, so big gains there. In terms of horsepower, the base models now have 233 horsepower. That's up from 215. And now for 2026, there's the XT version. So this comes in either the limited XT or the Touring XT, that offers 338 horsepower. No matter which version you choose, you get dual motor, all-wheel drive. Subaru made some other cool updates for 2026. The charge port is now a Tesla-style NACS, so that's great, gives you more accessibility, especially to Tesla's supercharging stations. The battery itself is bigger, it's about 75 kilowatt hours. And then in terms of DC fast charging, this new version will charge at up to 150 kilowatts. That's up from 100 kilowatts on the previous version. All right, now let's talk pricing. And as you may know, there's no more federal tax credit for EVs, but Subaru seems to have taken that into account and dropped the price of this Solterra for 2026. And that's pretty cool. They've dropped it by between $6,500 and $7,000, depending on the trim. So I really like that. The base trim is the premium. That starts at about $40,000, including destination. Then there's the limited, which is another $1,400 on top of that. Next is the limited XT that has the higher horsepower rating we were talking about earlier. That's an additional $1,500. And then finally, you have the Touring XT, the one we're testing here, that's all in, fully loaded for 47 grand, including destination. All right, now to the interior, and this is another of the key areas that Subaru made some great changes for 2026. I really like what they've done to this cabin. The biggest change, literally, is this screen. This is now a 14-inch screen that replaces either the base 8-inch screen or the larger 12.3-inch screen. So all trims of the Solterra now get this larger screen. It has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto connectivity as standard. Another really cool thing is down below, you have these climate control functions. If you've been in a Lexus recently, you'll know that these are the same controls that you'll find in a Lexus today. And that's because, as you may know, Subaru made the Solterra in conjunction with with Toyota. Toyota's version is called the BZ, so they get a little bit of those Toyota parts. And for 2026, now you get Lexus. So I love that. It's a great functionality. You've got the dual climate control functions. I love this little surprise and delight dial. So that's pretty cool. And then down below, this center console area has also been redesigned. A lot better use of this real estate. You now have two wireless smartphone charging pads right here. Great position of them so you can sort of see your phone without touching it. Then down below, you've got the shifter here, cup holders, and then I love this trick. You've got the center console that opens from either side. Another small redesign is that there used to be plastic sort of shaping right here going up to the instrument panel. They took that away, which I kind of like, but they're still using the same instrument panel itself. This screen is a 7-inch digital screen. There's a lot of information that they're sort of cramming onto that small screen. I don't love that. It also feels kind of cheap considering how many other upgrades have been made to this car. You've got just some of the lights and displays just look very low rent, but otherwise it's a good overall redesign. You'll see you've got sort of a squircle, a square circle here on the steering wheel that allows you to see better that screen right there. Another thing that's kind of annoying is you've got a driver monitoring system right here. So it's sort of looking at me, making sure I'm paying attention to the road. So if you're one of those drivers who drives with their hand up here, I know you're supposed to do 10 and 2, but if you are one of the folks that drives like this, it blocks that camera then and gives you this really annoying notification on the screen at all times. I just wish that weren't the case, so that is a little annoying. But overall, yeah, great redesign. We're in a fully loaded Touring XT, so that means we get goodies like heated and cooled leather seats up front. We've got a really nice panoramic roof. It doesn't open, but it does give you a lot of light into the cabin. We also have a digital rear view mirror, a 360-degree camera for parking, and a heated steering wheel. All right, now to the rear seat space. And as I was mentioning earlier with the dimensions on the outside, the dimensions on the inside have not changed either for 2026, and that's not a problem. There's plenty of space back here. If you've seen our videos before, you know the drill. I put the front seat to where I would have it if I'm sitting up there. So basically, I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 6'1", and I've got plenty of room to ride back here. So that's pretty cool. I also like the seats are quite comfortable. So these aren't the penalty boxes. Maybe they are on some other cars. So plenty of space, plenty of comfortable seating, and then you have some amenities too. You've got a pair of USB-C charge ports down here, some air vents, and then 3-stage heated seats for each of these outboard seats. So a lot of comfort, a lot of practicality. I really like that. Finally, at the back, the Subaru has 23.8 cubic feet of space. If that's not enough, the rear seats are split 60-40, and they fold nearly flat, and when you do, you've got 63.5 cubic feet of space. There's also a little bit more room under the floor here. That's a great place to store charging cables, or as you can see, there's also a spot for the cargo cover, which is great, rather than leaving it in the garage and forgetting it when you actually need it. All right, next up, driving impressions. And if you'll remember, we're in the XT version, so we have 338 horsepower, and this is not a big car. That is a lot of horsepower. This car scoots. I think it does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. That is pretty fast. So I've really been enjoying this car, but not just for the straight line acceleration. Subaru also retuned the suspension for 2026, and you do feel it. This feels like it's got good handling, good road feel. The suspension is comfortable over rough roads. We're on a rougher road right now, but it also gives you good feedback. You have a good sense of what the car is doing. So it's not a sports car, but it is pretty fun to drive, and you also have all-wheel drive in the mix. So overall, yeah, really enjoying how this car feels on the road and in a straight line. Another thing I like is how easy you can tune the regenerative braking. Not all EVs make it that easy, but Subaru has shift paddles behind the steering wheel here, so you can dial up or down the regenerative braking. Most of the time we've been testing it, I've been keeping it in the strongest setting, which is not quite one pedal driving, but it's pretty close. And if you have driven an EV before, you will find that you like that. But it's also nice just how easy you can dial that up or down. Another very random feature that I really like in the Subaru, I've never seen it before in an EV, is that when you slow down enough with the regenerative braking such that your brake lights come on, 2 little red lights on the instrument panel also illuminate. Now that's kind of a cool feature because when you go to slow down, when you take your foot off the throttle, the regenerative braking does slow the car down, but not enough, not always enough to use your brake lights. So that's just kind of a nice feature to know, hey, am I slowing down enough that the car behind me is seeing brake lights? You just look on the instrument panel and there it is. I like that. I also like how quiet this Solterra is. Yes, EVs are all quiet, but Subaru did a really nice job with sound deadening, so there's not a lot of wind noise or road noise coming into this car, and this is an affordable EV, but it feels and sounds like a luxury EV, so that's pretty cool. I also really like the visibility in this Solterra. You can see out the front really well. You've got a low hood that sort of dips out of the way, so that's nice. The A-pillars are pretty small, and then even out the back, despite that sloping profile, you can see out the back really well. Finally, last thing I really like about driving the Solterra is the seats. They're really comfortable. Nice bolstering on the side, hold you in place, very comfortable for either long or short drives. All right, folks, there you have it, our review of the 2026 Subaru Solterra. Pros? Well, we love the updates to the range and the power, including this XT version and its 338 horsepower. We also like the sleeker exterior styling and the Lexus amenities on the interior, and the best part is all of these updates come at thousands of dollars less than the previous version. Cons? Well, yes, the range has been improved on this version, but it still lags behind many of its competitors. We'd love to see a version that had over 300 miles of range on a single charge. We also think the exterior styling at the back and the black accents on the outside still won't be for everyone. And finally, there's that frustrating instrument panel with just too much information on a very small screen. But overall, we are big fans of this 2026 Solterra. We think Subaru did a great job addressing all of the issues we had with the previous version, and it is now highly competitive in a segment that offers a lot of good choices. So if you are shopping for a compact, all-electric crossover, the Solterra should definitely be on your list. Although, if it were our money on the line in this segment, we'd probably still choose the Hyundai Ioniq 5 as the clear winner, because that just does everything a little bit better. So for reviews or listings of this Subaru or anything else you're shopping for, new or used, be sure to check out CarGurus.com. And we now have a podcast called The Driveway. It features yours truly and the rest of our great content team. Be sure to check it out wherever you get the rest of your favorite podcasts. And before you go, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you can get alerts on all of our future updates. We'll see you out there.